Well guys, it's been a while. And as you can see, we are getting pretty close. I've got all the rear shocks in there. Been having a bit of a play with the paneling. I've got to cut this header back because my top coil is literally being held up by the header at the moment. But I've got all the bits that need to be in there. Got our power steering res, our bypass for the power steering. We run a remote bypass. Got our oil catch can that lots of you out there aren't running. But hey, we got one. The rules say you got to have one. 3 litres, by the way, for all those that don't know. Well, for our motor anyway. But I'm pretty sure if your motor's about 3 litres or bigger, you need a 3 litre catch can. Yeah, anyway, so I'm waiting on a few little bits and pieces. Just getting some more tube joiners. I've got to put a few more braces in to the frame. And I want to try and get one in here. From here, this junction here, up to this side of the coilover mount. Get one of them on both sides. This side's so much easier. One day I'll make new headers, but that's a job I am not prepared to have a crack at the moment because headers are a pain in the ass. Yeah, so going to put a few more braces in there, make them removable so we can take the headers out, because I just don't like the idea of having to take the motor out to take your headers off. That just seems retarded. I believe there's some trucks out there that's what you got to do though. But hey, that's something I'm not willing to do. I'm also going to put a brace across the top here, just in here. Again, removable. Better to do it now than later. We don't want cracking. Try and keep it all stiff. So they're the braces that are going in on the front end, and then I'm going to put one more brace on the back end in here. Bit hard to see, but essentially, use this as a pointer. So from this junction point here, we're going to run a brace that goes straight up and meets onto the back of this bar that goes across, just so we got a bit more triangulation, because that's a 70-gallon tank. For all you metric people, that's 265 litres. Plus, I can't remember what I worked it out to, but it's about an 8 litre surge. So we're at about 270 litres-ish, give or take, maybe a little bit more actually, of fuel on the back, plus potentially a 40-inch tyre. Last 40 that I weighed on a rim come in at around 44 kilos, so there is a lot of weight at the back there. So what's that? That's like 320-ish kilos on the back, and it's right at the back. It's a massive lever, so really want some good support back there. So another set of braces going in there. They're just going to be small. I'm still toying with the idea of just putting another. I don't want to put shit in for the sake of putting it in, but I'm also thinking about putting a
It's all just a numbers game.
it's a small one in here.
change the government, to change the rules.
And then from here,
And it's Australian Council of Trade Unions, nothing.
I don't know, I might use some inch. Put an inch brace in here, and maybe one coming down to the bottom down here. But again, I'm not sure. The joys of building your own trophy truck, you know, without an engineering degree. But we'll work it out. We're definitely not putting bars in this truck that aren't required. So I think for the most part it could definitely be fine without it. But like, you know, in 12 months down the track, I don't want all the back ends start cracking prematurely. So I'd rather put it in now and then get maybe 24 months down the track before we have to worry about cracking issues. Because, you know, it's going to be a that's a real issue. Running a chrome moly frame is cracking. So, you know, but we don't expect it to start cracking first year off the bat. That's for sure. We ideally, I'd like to get 3 years out of the frame before I really have to be worrying about crack repairs. But we'll wait and see. We've got a lot of bracing. See where we go. But yeah, lately, really, we're getting down to the, nitty gritty things. Just double checking everything, making sure that every little tab is in place. Got hold of these awesome little tabs from Jimco. Oh, do I have one in there? Oh, look, I'm mucking around with the. I'll lift this up a bit. See those little tabs under there? Right there? So you can run a cable tie through, hold your brake line in place, whatever you'd like to hold in place, that's for sure. So we're going to use a few of them to hold our hard lines for the brakes in. But yeah, got hold of them, been putting them everywhere. I'm actually waiting for more because I don't know if you can see all the yellow lines. They're all going to be, I'm going to have them all the way around the top of the roof so I can run my cable loom and I don't have to run a cable tie the whole way around the tube then. It'll be nice and hidden. Nice and hidden. Fair bit neater. Oh, here's some down here on the lower arms. Done the hard line. We've tucked it in on the back edge so we've got protection. You know, it's in there pretty good, eh? These little tab brackets actually, they come up real easy to install. A little bit fiddly because they are so tiny. I haven't seen the price of them yet. I'm sure Steve will look after us. Steve from Race Gear WA has been getting them in for me. So no one else really does a good option for your small brake lines, you know. Sure, there's all the little billet CNC things you can buy from Airflow and all that, but you know, who wants to spend $20 for one mount? That's not going to happen. Not when you're putting in like 30 plus. I think I've already put 30 in. I've ordered another pack of 30. So we'll see how we go. Maybe 60. You know, you don't want to be spending $20 a mount when you're going to put. Obviously, if you're spending that much money, you're not going to put 60 in. But yeah. Anyway, that is that's a little bit of what I've been up to, doing the last little tabs, because the next big thing to happen will be the powder coating. So yeah, just going through the truck, making sure every bracket that needs to be on is on. Part of doing all the brake lines, I ended up finding myself organising all the plumbing for the truck, so that's done. We've got it's actually ordered on its way. That was a big order, a very expensive big order. Who would have knew? FYI, plumbing for a race truck costs a lot of money. suggest having a fair bit in the budget for that. But yeah, got I'm actually, see through here, we've got our trans coolers through there, right? We're running 3. Some people like to run 2, we're going to run 3. They're only 30 rows though, so most people run 2 for 40 rows, we're running 3 30 rows. Mainly because of budget. It's actually a lot cheaper to run 3 30 rows than it is to run 2 40 rows. So we're doing that. And we get whatever it works out to be. What's that? 20, it's about, what if 20%-ish more cooling capacity. But yeah, I'm going to do all the trans coolers there, all the loops, because they'll all be running in series. It's all going to be in hardline. So I've got all 5.8, which is pretty damn big, which is dash 10 hardline coming. I brought a new bender. Here it is, just here. Came the other day. Nothing too fancy, but we'll get the job done. So when all the hardline gets here, I'll probably do that just in case I've got to weld any tabs. Mounting tabs, because I want, like I've said, I want all the tabs done before we go off the powder coat. But at the moment, let me just check me whiteboard list of things to do. I've got to mount the jack. I'm in 2 minds of that. I brought one of these. I brought one of these race jacks. What's it called? I think it's an Eagle Pro or something. Oops. Yeah, I brought, as you can see down here, Eagle Pro race jack. It's very nice. It's light. Twin pump, so it pumps up nice and quick. It's got the adjustable, what do you call that thing there? I don't know, like height extension that locks in, and it comes with a mount to hold that. It also came, I don't know whether it comes with this, I purchased it, but it's actually sitting in its mount at the moment. And you're meant to like bolt that mount to the frame of your truck. But I'm not super happy with the mount, and it's still a lot of weight to have on the back of the truck, flopping around everywhere. So the last few days I've kind of been questioning whether I'm going to use it or not. It's something I've got to look at. I think, you know, like a lot of the buggies use those King $1 million rattle gun shocks, jacks, the race jack, the King race jack, which essentially is just a screw inside of an air shock. I think FOA or FAO, they do one pretty much similar. It's a bit cheaper. Both of those, although I think you could make it work on the front arms, I don't know whether you get it in on the rear, which is a bit of an issue. My other thought was to be a held tight ass, cheap ass, and then buy one of those, you know, like on the big trailers, like on say, or even like an RV or a caravan, they have those caravan stabilizing legs, and you can get them, and they're like rated for, you know, whatever you want, 2 ton, 1 ton, 4 ton. And you can get square and round ones of them with a side crank handle. And I was thinking, if I got one of them, welded a socket or a nut onto the end of the side crank handle, cut the handle off, weld a nut on it, then I can use a rattle gun to jack it up and down. And essentially, you can buy one of them for like, I don't know, $90, as opposed to a King race jack, which is what, like $1,300 US or something crazy. So you can get one for about $90, and essentially it's going to do the same thing. So if I can make something like that work, then I was going to look at that as an option. But I haven't got around to that yet. So that's another. I've looked at what's out there and what I can use, but I haven't actually come and sussed out what my room is on the car, you know, because I don't know whether you can actually fit it in when all the guards are on, and whether it will be whether it's easy when all the guards are on the car to use one of those things to get your tyre on and off. I don't know. I think it's going to be a pain in the ass. For the rear, I reckon you sort of can't beat a trolley jack, because there's, yeah, you know, you see some cars have those the onboard rams. Well, that ain't happening on my budget, because I think they start at about $6,000. But yeah, but the problem with the ram is you got to take up all your suspension travel, and I just don't think that's going to happen on my rear. I haven't measured it yet, but there is a lot. I'm going to just throw a figure out there and just go, it's going to be like more than I don't know, more than 32. We'll say more than 32.